Forget the castles bathed in sunlight, the benevolent fairies, the charming prince. The sleeping beauty of old harbored a darkness unknown to modern eyes. This is not a tale for bedtime.
Our story begins not with a princess but with me, Talia, a maiden beautiful and cursed. Despite every precaution, fate found me. In a forgotten corner of the castle, I pricked my finger. I fell into a sleep, death-like, eternal.
Time, in its relentless march, moved on, oblivious to Talia's plight. Seasons turned, years melted into decades, and the palace became a tomb. Inside, Talia slept on, untouched, unaging.
One day, a king, lost during a hunt, stumbled upon the overgrown palace. He ventured inside. Room after room stood empty until he reached the final chamber. There, bathed in the ethereal glow of the high windows, lay me.
Overcome by a dark desire, the king took his pleasure with Talia, unable to resist the temptation that clouded his judgment. Then, leaving her in the silent palace, he returned to his kingdom, his conscience heavy with the weight of his sin, haunted by the memory of his actions.
Months spun by, and in my enchanted sleep, violated and unaware, I gave birth to two beautiful children, a boy and a girl. Twins, a boy and a girl, cried out in the stillness of the palace, their cries echoing through the empty halls.
One of the infants, a boy driven by hunger and instinct, crawled towards his mother seeking nourishment. Unable to suckle, he found her finger, the very one pricked by the flax, and began to suck, his tiny mouth working to find sustenance. As he did, the sliver of flax dislodged, freeing Talia from her enchanted sleep, her eyes fluttering open to a new reality. Talia looked around the dust-filled room, her gaze falling on the two infants. The room, once vibrant and full of life, now seemed like a forgotten relic of the past. Dust motes danced in the beams of sunlight that filtered through the cracks in the walls. Motherhood, instant and fierce, flooded her heart. She felt an overwhelming surge of love and protection for the tiny beings before her, a love so powerful it brought tears to her eyes. She named the boy Sun, for he had brought her back to the light, and the girl Moon, for she had been born in the darkness of her slumber. These names held deep meaning, symbolizing the duality of their existence and the balance they brought to her life.
Sun and moon, my precious treasures, you are my guiding lights, my reasons to keep going.
The palace, no longer a tomb, echoed with the sounds of life. The once silent halls now buzzed with activity, as if the very walls had awakened from a long slumber. Talia, resourceful and strong, discovered hidden stores of food. She scoured every corner of the palace, ensuring her children would never go hungry. She cared for her children, their laughter the only music her ears knew. Their joy was her solace, their happiness her mission. Every day was a new adventure filled with love and discovery. The king, consumed by remorse, swore to atone for his actions. He would acknowledge his children, shower them with love and legitimacy.
I will make it right, Talia, I promise.
He pleaded for Talia's forgiveness, and, inexplicably, she found herself offering it.
I forgive you.
Word of the king's obsession reached the queen. Consumed by jealousy, she seethed.
Who is this woman? Tell me.
She demanded to know the identity of the woman who held her husband's heart captive. The king, torn between his duty and his desire, refused.
I cannot tell you.
This only fueled the queen's rage. Driven by a venomous envy, the queen devised a plan. The king, alerted to his queen's treachery, arrived in the nick of time. He exposed his wife's wicked plot, her jealousy laid bare for all to see. The court gasped in shock, unable to believe the depths of her betrayal.
How could you, my queen? This treachery will not go unpunished. You have betrayed not just me, but our entire kingdom.
The queen, her scheme thwarted, her cruelty exposed, was consumed by her own rage. The king, horrified by her actions, ordered her punishment without hesitation. For her crimes against his beloved Talia and their innocent children, she was burned alive, a fitting end for her malevolence. The kingdom watched as justice was served, a grim reminder of the consequences of treachery.
We have survived, my children. We will thrive. Our future is now free from the shadows of deceit and betrayal. Together, we will rebuild and find our happiness once more.